Before we get started, was informed happy birthday in order. Charlie Potter's 25th birthday. Is that about right?
24.
24. Happy birthday, Charlie.
Thank you.
Welcome to the new year. So, I thought our guys were pretty locked in tonight. I thought the start was good. First half, I think we had them at a .76 on the defensive side of it in the first half. We did. So, I thought start the game, we were really locked on the defensive end. Fears, I think, only had 1 point at the half. He's been their leading scorer, so I thought our guys were ready to go on him. Obviously picking up a couple fouls first half and him sitting helped too. But, defensively we were much better, and then I fell off a little bit in the second half. We got a lead. That's one thing we got to work on, is playing with an edge when we get a lead. But, offensively, getting the old boards, getting 22 out of the 40 available rebounds on our offensive ends, pretty solid. Our offensive rebounding rate was 55% tonight, so we've been stressing that. I thought we took advantage of some of their smaller guards on the offensive boards. Young blood, kind of a 2 or 3, got 4 of them. Sears ended up with 2. Aaron had 2 boards, so it wasn't just our bigs getting in there. I thought our guards got in there and mixed it up pretty good. Offensively, we didn't turn it over much. We had 9. One of them being Modi's flagrant that gave them the ball back, and then one of them being a shot clock violation. So there wasn't a lot of live ball turnovers. So when you don't turn it over and you get 55% of your misses, your efficiency numbers will be up. And we didn't even shoot very well. I didn't think we didn't shoot great. The free throw line, it was okay. We didn't shoot great from 3. We still ended up, at a 1.39 for the night. So, we're finding other ways to do it. Hopefully our shooting will come around and we'll start shooting a little bit better. But we're getting to the free throw line. We're generating shots off old boards, getting out in transition a little bit, and it's been pretty good. So, Mark, double-double, with 10 assists. I thought he really had the ball moving. You could see his energy when his teammates were scoring, which is great. We need that out of him. He was more excited about getting 10 assists. I think you saw when he hit Holloway for the 1-3, that was his 9th, and he was all fired up, and then he got cheering on the roll for his 10th. So I was happy to see that. When you talk about Modita, vicarious joy through other success. Mark was really happy for his teammates scoring, particularly off his passes tonight, but thought it was good. So, a lot of positives. We're in the middle of SEC, I shouldn't say in the middle, but we're in it now. We're in SEC play, a lot of stuff to clean up, but a lot of positives on our first game. So, I think our non-conference schedule prepared us for these games. Now we got to go on the road, where we've been a little inconsistent. We lost at Purdue and didn't play well at North Dakota. We had a big road win at North Carolina, but we got to go on the road to South Carolina, who's going to be really amped up and ready to go, I'm sure, after their game today. But really good first game. And the 2 years we've won the SEC regular season, I think we won by 22 at home and 18 on the road. I talked to our guys we need a dominating win coming out, setting the tone if we're trying to win this thing, and I think the guys answered the bell pretty well.
Start on the right here with Tony.
Yeah, you mentioned just how this non-conference schedule just prepared your team. What's the biggest thing that you think you grew and learned from your team during that span?
We're capable of being a great defensive team. We got to be better when the scores our way, and we've got to be more consistent in it. We're not as good a shooting team as we'd hoped, but some of that's injuries. Obviously, Reitzel was our most efficient shooter. He's out for the year. Youngblood still coming off the injury and just hasn't really gotten the flow. So, we're having to find other ways to do it, but I think Diabate is playing a bigger role because he gets the old boards really well. Grant Nelson getting the old boards. Grant had a double night with 12 and 11. So we've kind of figured ourselves out some. I still think there's a lot of chemistry that has to be figured out because some of these guys haven't played that well together. I shouldn't say that well. They haven't played that much together. So we're still figuring some of our chemistry stuff out. But I think, our offensive rebounding and our ability to get to the free throw line's been big for this team.
Nick Kelly.
Yeah, Mark's 10 assists, we talked about it, but if he can, I think it's a career high for him. If he can keep doing that or something close to that or have that kind of role for this offense, how much is that going to help moving forward?
I think it'll be good because we got some guys that need guys that generate offense for them a little bit. You know, they got to play off closeouts or play, you know, off catch and shoot. You know, hopefully him moving the ball like he did. Maybe we can get some of the other shooters going. You know, whether it's Youngblood, Holloway, who's more than capable of knocking down shots. LeBaron was 2 of 5 tonight. So you know, if we get Jaron going, you know, if Mark keeps moving it like that, you know, he's so aggressive downhill that you kind of have to help because it's hard for a lot of guys in this league to guard him one-on-one without fouling. So then you bring the help in, and when he keeps moving the ball like he did tonight, I think it's going to make it a lot easier on some of our other guys to get some easy buckets.
Charlie Potter.
Yesterday you talked about how defense was maybe the biggest room for improvement for you guys after non-conference play. Just how pleased were you with the effort tonight, especially against Fears in the first half?
First 20 minutes, I was as good as we played. .76 against a team like Oklahoma, top 12 in the country. You know, I think it showed what we're capable of, but we've had this issue this year, and it's a little bit of human nature, but we got to fight it. The second half wasn't very good. You know, we were 1.28 in the second half, so that, you know, we ended up at a 1.03 on the game, which isn't where we want to be. You know, we need to be down low 9s if we're trying to have it down in defense. And so I thought it was great for 20 minutes and not very good at all for the last 20.
Blake.
Yeah, just how important was your team's length overall tonight on both ends of the floor, whether that be post-ups, offensive rebounds, just affecting people defensively?
Yeah, I thought it was, you know, most evident on the offensive end on the glass. I did think, you know, we forced them into some tough shots, you know, maybe challenging threes with our length, but because they were a team that had been shooting 37% from 3 and they only shot 26 tonight. So maybe our length bothered them, and from the 3-point line. They shot it pretty well from the field, but man, we gave up some just dumb, like just wide open layups, whether it's transition where we kind of gambled and went for a loose ball we didn't get off a turnover, or just our pick and roll coverage wasn't great at times. They got some easy, you know, Godwin ended up getting some easy plays off that. And Moore's the best garbage points, and there's no disrespect to him, but he scores off those garbage points better than anybody maybe in the league right now. So, you know, they were able to get some of that and drive their field goal percentage up, but I do think our length bothered them, shooting some pull-ups, shooting some threes, and on the offensive glass.
Jack.
You mentioned Youngblood's effort on the glass. What does it say about him to see him kind of compete like that, especially as he's still kind of finding his shot and getting back healthy, see him compete in kind of other ways?
Yeah, I mean, Chris is the ultimate competitor. He hates losing at anything. He's going to talk, be aggressive. You know, he's trying to be physical. He had a couple fouls where maybe he was trying to do some stuff like that. He's got to be a little bit better with that. But yeah, I mean, he's going to get to the boards and kind of try to use his strength. He's a strong kid, and he's strong and competitive, so he's gonna make plays like that. You know, he led us in offensive rebounds with 4. Sure, he had 8 rebounds. You know, he played on less than 20 minutes, had 9 points and 8 rebounds. It's pretty efficient night for a guard.
Scott.
Hey, can you talk about more? You wanted more aggression out of him. He was pretty good defensively first half, like you said, and just offensively, I thought he was pretty aggressive for you.
Yeah, I'm looking at the leverage numbers. We're better with him in the game on both sides of the ball. We're plus 26 on defense with a man and plus 10 on offense. So, you know, he's impacting the game like we want him to. You know, in just over 17 minutes to be a plus 17, thought he was good. You know, he dunked the ball. He's 5 of 5 from the floor. Thought he made some really good plays defensively. You know, we a little bit screwed up with some pick and roll coverages with him, but other than that, he was pretty good, I thought. And the offensive rebounds that he had were huge when the crowd went nuts. So, you know, I didn't talk about that either. For first game, not having the students here, I thought the crowd was unbelievably great. I mean, it was packed. They got loud when they were supposed to on the effort plays when we needed stops. Like they were cheering the right stuff. So big shout out to our crowd. Continue to cheer all the blue collar plays when Cliff was all over those old boards. They were getting after it. So I love that.
Stay in the back.
You've mentioned limiting turnovers as an emphasis for Mark, for him to have a double-double today without coughing it up a single time. I mean, what does that say about his ability to take coaching even at this stage in his career?
Yeah, I thought it's been good. We've made a huge point of emphasis on turnovers in practice. I think he's wanting to get better, wanting to be coached, wants his team to be great. So 10 assists, 0 turnovers. That's how it's supposed to look for a point guard, but even the best point guards don't have those type of nights all that often. So, this will definitely help his assist to turnover ratio out on the season. I thought he was making the right reads. When they collapse, he's spraying it, making early reads. So nobody's going to be 100% on the reads, but he was a lot closer to 100 today than he's been some games earlier in the season.
Chase.
It looked like Phylon was the primary defender on Fears. You just comment on him specifically, but also when y'all had to switch off on a screen and guard Fears with somebody else, how was that?
Yeah, I thought most of our guys did a pretty good job. I mean, he ended up with 16, which is a little disappointing because he got, you guys know better than me, but I think he had 1 point with about 10 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah.
When we'd been up 28, I think, at that point already. So we get up 28, we've held him to 1 point for the first 30 minutes of the game, and then all of a sudden we give up 15 the last 10 minutes or so, whatever it is of the game. So a little disappointing, but for the first 30 minutes, thought we did a great job. LeBaron came ready to go, thought he did a really good job. Some other guys got switched on to him, in that first 30 minutes, did a great job. But, if you get up 28, we got to be able to keep our focus and continue to get stops and not let a kid get, he pretty much got to close to his average there at the end when we'd done a great job on him for 30 minutes. So I thought our guys did a good job. I thought, Jeremiah showed why he's why they'd be in draft boards in the last 10 minutes of that game when he went and got some buckets, but we're just going to have to really try to get our guys to stay focused no matter what the score is.
Julian.
Coach, you kind of talked about it to start. These guys were locked in. You told them to dominate. How big is it? I know you knew the guys you brought in, but how big is it to see that edge so early on, and especially as you prepare to face SEC tests every single night?
I thought the first 20 minutes was exactly what we need to see out of these guys on a nightly basis. Thought we came out with the right mindset. Thought our walkthrough was sharp. I thought, our trainer told me that the guys were really locked in as soon as they got here in the morning. It was a great, day of prep. I thought it was good preparation coming in. We had some really good practices and kind of a week off. It's what we need. Now, can we do it consistently? And honestly, can we do it for 40 minutes? We didn't do it for 40 tonight. We did it for maybe 20 or 30, if you want to call it. We got up 28 on them with, I think, 12 something to go in the second half is what they had. To be up 28 with 13 minutes to go in half and then finish at 28. They played us even for the last 13 minutes, which is a little disappointing, but I think for the first, like I said, 27 minutes of that game, we had the edge we needed.
2 more. Drew.
Coach, you've talked about the ball not sticking, 20 assists tonight, sharing the ball, and then talk about Cliff Amori and Youngblood starting to kind of fit in offensively and do a great job on the floor. I thought they were both really good tonight.
Yeah, I did too. I thought Cliff finished like he needed to at the rim, rolled out, guys found him. I think we missed him a couple of times on some rolls. Some other times he could have rolled a little quicker, but both him and Chris have played. This was their 5th year in college basketball. They're veterans. They got some leadership qualities. Chris is a great talker, leading. I think he's getting more and more comfortable, and we need to continue to get that way. And I think he'll start to make shots at a pretty high clip. He's been a good shooter his entire career, so it was good to see both those guys play well for us tonight.
Last one up front.
Coach, can you speak to LeBaron's growth? And he plays a little more. He looks like he plays more experience than he actually is. What do you expect out of him as you go deeper into the season?
Yeah, he's been great. I think he's proven himself since he got here. He walked in the summer with an edge about him. He competed in practice. He wanted to guard Sears. Sears are one of the best guards, or maybe the best guard in the country, and LeBaron did a great job on him in the summer. I think he he's got a mature side about him and his preparation and his competitiveness on both sides of the floor. You know, we knew he was a talented offensive player, but it's hard to sometimes know how competitive they're gonna be on both ends of the floor, and he's got that. And he makes good reads, he gets downhill, he's got great touch, he can finish at the rim, he's really athletic, he shoots it pretty well. You know, he went 2 of 5 from 3 tonight. So, you know, he's gonna be a little overlooked with some of the other stat lines, but 16, 5, and 4 for a freshman on 5 of 10 shooting with no turnovers himself. You know, Sears had a great game with 10 and 0. LeBaron had 5 assists and no turnovers. So your starting backcourt gets 15 assists, no turnovers. That's the kind of play you're looking for. And for one of them to be a freshman is pretty impressive. So, you know, I'm a huge fan of LeBaron's. I think the fact that Fears was so high up on some of these draft boards, I think that motivated LeBaron a little bit too.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate it, guys.